Life can be a lot of things. It's filled with moments of joy, of sorrow, of triumph, and of struggle. But one thing that can always stand firm through it all is discipline. Now, discipline isn't about punishment. It's not about denying yourself the things you want. No, discipline is the act of choosing what is right over what is easy. It's the ability to say to yourself, I have a purpose, and I will see it through no matter what. You see, the world is full of distractions. There are 1,000 voices, pulling you in 1,000 different directions. But if you cannot control yourself, if you cannot rein in those impulses, those fleeting desires, then you will be a leaf caught in the wind, tossed around, never reaching your true potential. But discipline is the anchor. It's the steady force that keeps you grounded, even when everything around you is chaotic. It tells you, no, you're going to wake up early today. You're going to put in the work, even when it feels tough, even when you'd rather not. Because the truth is, life isn't about waiting for things to get easier. It's about building the strength to handle whatever comes your way. And that strength, that resilience, it comes from discipline. I know it's not easy. It's not supposed to be. But every small victory, every time you choose to do the right thing, instead of the easy thing, you are building something that will last. Discipline yourself, not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. You'll see, in the end, it's the disciplined who are the ones who truly find their way. And they find it not by chance, but by choice. Self-control is the cornerstone of discipline, the very foundation upon which all other aspects of personal growth and success are built. It is the ability to manage your impulses, emotions, and behaviors in the face of temptation or adversity. In a world filled with distractions, immediate rewards, and constant stimuli, self-control is perhaps more important now than ever before. It is easy to succumb to the pull of instant gratification, whether that's scrolling through social media, indulging in unhealthy food, or putting off work that we know needs to be done. But self-control allows us to rise above these short-term pleasures and make choices that align with our long-term goals. Self-control is about making decisions that reflect your values and aspirations rather than giving in to momentary desires that may undermine them. It's about learning to pause, reflect, and choose with intention. For instance, when faced with the choice of procrastinating or working on a task, self-control helps you recognize that, while putting it off might feel easier now, completing the task will bring greater satisfaction and progress in the future. It's the ability to step back and remind yourself of the bigger picture, even when the smaller, easier pleasures are right in front of you. Self-control also requires a certain level of awareness. It's not about blindly resisting temptation, it's about understanding your triggers, knowing your weaknesses, and actively preparing yourself to face them. This is where mindfulness comes into play. When you are mindful of your thoughts and actions, you can catch yourself in moments of weakness before they lead to poor decisions. For example, if you know that you tend to overeat when you're stressed, self-control involves finding healthier coping mechanisms, such as exercise or meditation, to address the root cause of the behavior instead of giving in to the urge. The ability to exercise self-control doesn't just impact individual success, it influences relationships, career development, and overall well-being. In the workplace, self-control can determine how effectively you manage your time, interact with colleagues, and handle stress. In personal relationships, it influences how well you communicate, manage conflict, and show patience toward others. Self-control is not about perfection or being overly strict with yourself. It's about recognizing when your impulses might lead you astray and choosing to act in a way that is aligned with your deeper sense of purpose. Self-control is not something we are simply born with, nor is it a trait that's fixed in stone. It's a skill that can be cultivated with practice. Like building muscle, the more you exercise your self-control, the stronger it becomes. Every small act of discipline, whether it's resisting the urge to check your phone during work, sticking to a fitness routine, or controlling your emotional responses, strengthens your ability to make better choices day after day. Consistency over convenience is a principle that underscores the importance of staying committed to your goals, even when the path becomes difficult or the shortcuts seem tempting. In a world driven by convenience and instant results, it's easy to fall into the trap of seeking the easiest route to success. We are constantly bombarded with advertisements, apps, and quick fixes that promise rapid results with minimal effort. However, true success is rarely found in convenience. It is found in the consistency of effort over time, even when immediate rewards are not apparent. When we opt for convenience, we often sacrifice long-term gains for short-term satisfaction. For example, skipping a workout because it's easier to lounge on the couch, or choosing unhealthy fast food because it's quicker than preparing a meal might feel satisfying in the moment. But those small, convenient choices can add up and derail progress in the long run. In contrast, consistency requires showing up each day, doing the work even when it feels hard or inconvenient. It's about sticking to a routine, following through on commitments, and making choices that align with your deeper goals, regardless of the temporary discomfort they may cause. Consistency is what separates those who succeed from those who fall short. It's easy to feel motivated at the start of a new project or when we're excited about a new goal. But motivation tends to wane over time, especially when results don't come as quickly as we expect. This is where consistency becomes crucial. Instead of relying on motivation, you rely on your commitment to the process. Even when you're not feeling at your best, you continue to show up, do the work, and trust that over time your efforts will pay off. Whether it's writing daily, practicing a skill, or working toward fitness goals, consistency is what builds momentum. There's power in routine and repetition. When you consistently repeat actions that support your goals, those actions become ingrained in your behavior. They stop feeling like choices and begin to feel like habits, and habits are much easier to maintain than one-off efforts. Imagine someone trying to learn a new language. It's not enough to study once a week, or when the mood strikes to truly make progress, you have to practice daily. It's the small, consistent efforts that compound over time and lead to mastery. Consistency builds resilience. When you commit to something long-term, you're bound to face obstacles and setbacks. But consistency helps you navigate those challenges. Instead of giving up at the first sign of difficulty, you stick with the process and find ways to adapt. You build a sense of persistence and grit, which are essential for overcoming adversity. In this way, consistency becomes not just about progress, but about strengthening your character and ability to persevere, even when the path is anything but convenient. Choosing consistency over convenience means choosing long-term fulfillment over fleeting comfort. It's a decision to invest in the future, knowing that while the journey may not always be easy, the rewards will be far more meaningful and lasting than any shortcut could provide. Delayed gratification is the ability to resist the temptation of an immediate reward in favor of a later, often greater benefit. In a world where instant gratification is at our fingertips, whether through social media, fast food, or quick entertainment, the skill of delayed gratification has become increasingly important. The practice of waiting for a reward, even when the urge to indulge in something immediately is strong, can have a profound impact on our ability to achieve long-term goals and build a fulfilling life. It requires patience, self-control, and a clear understanding of the bigger picture. Delayed gratification is about making choices that prioritize long-term success over short-term pleasure. For example, choosing to study for an important exam instead of going out with friends, or saving money for a future investment rather than spending it on a fleeting luxury, reflects a mindset focused on the future. It's about recognizing that the reward will be much more satisfying when it is earned over time, rather than indulging in the quick satisfaction of the present moment. This mindset, though not always easy to maintain, is one of the key differentiators between those who achieve lasting success and those who remain stuck in cycles of fleeting pleasure. One of the most well-known studies that explored delayed gratification is the marshmallow test, a psychological experiment conducted in the 1960s. In the study, children were offered a choice: they could eat one marshmallow immediately, or if they waited for 15 minutes, they could have two. The study found that the children who were able to wait tended to have better life outcomes, demonstrating higher levels of academic success, health, and overall well-being later in life. This experiment highlighted how the ability to delay gratification, to put off short-term rewards in exchange for greater long-term benefits, is a critical factor in shaping life outcomes. Delaying gratification, however, is not simply about saying no to pleasure. It's about learning to make smarter choices. It's about recognizing that momentary pleasure often comes at the expense of something bigger and more meaningful. It's about understanding that the sacrifices you make today are investments in your future self. When you choose to delay gratification, you are essentially exercising control over your desires, making decisions that align with your values, and demonstrating a commitment to something more substantial than immediate pleasure. In a practical sense, delayed gratification manifests in numerous ways. It's about working toward a promotion over the course of years instead of jumping at every available opportunity for temporary rewards. It's about sticking to a health regimen, even when the results take time to appear. It's about saving for a house or retirement instead of indulging in every impulse purchase. These small acts of self-control compound over time, leading to greater financial stability, personal growth, and fulfillment. Perhaps one of the most powerful aspects of delayed gratification is its ability to build mental toughness and resilience. The process of waiting for something that matters teaches patience, persistence, and the value of hard work. It helps us develop the mindset that success is not an event, it's a journey. And while the journey may require sacrifices and delays, the rewards we reap in the end will be far more significant than any immediate, temporary pleasure could ever provide. Delayed gratification teaches us that patience is not just about waiting, it's about understanding that the best things in life take time, effort, and discipline. Focus and prioritization are essential components of self-discipline, especially in a world that is full of distractions. We live in an age where our attention is constantly pulled in multiple directions, from emails and notifications to the lure of entertainment and social media. Yet, the ability to maintain focus on what truly matters and to prioritize the most important tasks is what ultimately leads to meaningful progress and achievement. Without focus, even the most well-intentioned efforts can be scattered and ineffective. Without prioritization, you risk spending time on things that are urgent, but not necessarily important, leaving your long-term goals neglected. Focus is the ability to direct your attention and energy toward a single task, blocking out distractions and staying present in the moment. In a world that demands multitasking, it can be difficult to stay concentrated on one thing for an extended period of time. Yet research has shown that multitasking is not nearly as effective as we might believe. Switching between tasks actually costs us time and mental energy, as our brains have to reorient with each transition. When we focus on one task at a time, we become more efficient, more effective, and more likely to complete tasks to the highest standard. Focus alone is not enough. It must be coupled with the ability to prioritize, deciding which tasks, goals, or obligations require immediate attention and which can be deferred or even eliminated. Prioritization involves asking yourself, what matters most right now, and what will move me closer to my long-term goals. Without this skill, you may find yourself overwhelmed by a to-do list that is long but lacks true significance. Often people fall into the trap of working on tasks that feel urgent but are not necessarily aligned with their larger objectives. For example, responding to non-essential emails or checking social media may seem like important tasks in the moment, but they do little to advance your broader goals. To practice prioritization effectively, it's helpful to distinguish between urgent tasks and important ones. Urgent tasks may demand your immediate attention, but they don't always contribute to your long-term vision. Important tasks, on the other hand, are those that bring you closer to achieving your goals, even though they may not have the same sense of immediacy. Prioritizing important tasks ensures that you're working on things that truly matter, rather than getting caught up in the whirlwind of daily demands. Effective prioritization also requires the ability to say no. There's a tendency, especially in the modern world, to say yes to everything, to take on additional commitments or projects out of a sense of obligation, guilt, or fear of missing out. However, when you say yes to too many things, you spread yourself too thin. To maintain focus and discipline, you must learn to say no to things that do not align with your goals or that would detract from the time and energy you need to focus on what matters most. Saying no is not about rejecting others, it's about protecting your time and energy so you can devote them to your most important priorities. When focus and prioritization come together, they create a powerful synergy. You are not only able to stay concentrated on what you are doing, but you are also directing that energy toward the right tasks. This combination allows you to work smarter, not harder, making meaningful progress toward your goals rather than just staying busy. It is this ability to focus on what matters and to prioritize what is truly important that separates those who make steady progress from those who feel constantly overwhelmed and unproductive. In the end, discipline is not just about what you do. It's about how you decide to spend your time and energy, making sure that your efforts are aligned with your deeper values and long-term aspirations. Building resilience is an essential aspect of discipline, and it plays a pivotal role in helping us overcome the inevitable challenges and setbacks that life throws our way. Resilience is the capacity to bounce back from difficulties, to persist in the face of adversity, and to maintain a sense of purpose even when circumstances are unfavorable. While some may be naturally more resilient than others, resilience is not an innate trait, it is a skill that can be developed over time through deliberate practice, mindset shifts, and consistent effort. One of the key components of resilience is the ability to embrace failure as a learning opportunity rather than as a final defeat. In the process of working toward any significant goal, you will encounter obstacles and you will fail at times. It's a natural part of the journey. But resilient individuals don't let failure define them. They don't allow it to be an end, but rather a stepping stone toward improvement. Each setback is viewed as a chance to learn, adjust, and keep moving forward. This mindset shift from seeing failure as a personal flaw to viewing it as a learning opportunity is crucial in developing resilience. It allows you to maintain motivation and momentum, even when things don't go according to plan. Resilience also requires emotional endurance. It's easy to stay motivated when everything is going well, but when faced with disappointment, frustration, or stress, many people are tempted to give up. Resilient people, on the other hand, can weather emotional storms without letting their emotions derail their efforts. This doesn't mean suppressing feelings or pretending that challenges don't affect you. Rather, it's about acknowledging the discomfort or pain and still choosing to press on. It's about maintaining mental and emotional clarity, even when you're in the midst of difficulty, and not allowing negative emotions to cloud your judgment or decision-making. This emotional endurance comes from cultivating mental habits like self-compassion, optimism, and a belief in your ability to overcome challenges. Another vital aspect of resilience is the ability to maintain focus on the long-term vision despite temporary setbacks or obstacles. When faced with difficulties, it's easy to lose sight of why you started in the first place. You might question whether the effort is worth it or whether success is even possible. Resilient individuals have a clear sense of purpose that helps them stay anchored to their goals, even when the journey becomes rough. They understand that success doesn't come overnight and that the path is often winding and unpredictable. But their long-term vision and commitment to the process keep them moving forward, one step at a time, even through the tough moments. Building resilience also involves learning to be flexible. Life is unpredictable, and things rarely go exactly as planned. Resilient people understand that while they can control their actions and mindset, they cannot control every circumstance. Instead of becoming frustrated when things don't go as expected, resilient individuals adapt and find alternative paths toward their goals. Flexibility doesn't mean giving up or lowering your standards. It means finding creative solutions when faced with unexpected challenges, adjusting your approach when necessary, and remaining open to change. Resilience is about persistence and grit, the determination to keep going even when the odds seem stacked against you. It's about digging deep, finding inner strength, and believing that no matter how many times you stumble, you can always rise again. Building resilience doesn't happen overnight. It's forged in the trials and tribulations of life, tested through each challenge you face. The more you work to strengthen this skill, the more you develop an unshakable confidence in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. And it is through this resilience that you become stronger, more capable, and more equipped to navigate the inevitable ups and downs of life, ultimately leading you closer to the success and fulfillment you seek. Long-term success is rarely achieved through grand, single efforts or breakthroughs. Instead, it is the result of consistent, small actions that accumulate over time. These small, deliberate habits, though they may seem insignificant in the moment, have the power to compound into something much greater. This concept, often referred to as the compound effect, is at the heart of why building discipline through small, everyday choices is so essential. The key to long-term success lies not in dramatic changes or sporadic bursts of effort, but in the steady accumulation of daily habits that align with your larger goals. At the core of long-term success is the idea that every small choice we make has a ripple effect. Whether you choose to wake up early and exercise, spend a few minutes reading each day, or consistently save a small percentage of your income, each of these actions contributes to your greater aspirations. Over time, these habits add up. Just like a snowball that begins small but grows as it rolls downhill, your disciplined efforts accumulate and compound, eventually leading to extraordinary results. One of the greatest advantages of focusing on small habits is that they are easier to maintain. Trying to overhaul your entire life in one go or making drastic changes can be overwhelming and unsustainable. On the other hand, small, incremental actions can be integrated into your routine without causing burnout or frustration. It's much more realistic to commit to writing a paragraph every day than it is to write an entire novel in a single weekend. Similarly, it's easier to consistently practice a skill for 20 minutes a day than to expect yourself to master it all at once. By committing to these smaller, manageable habits, you set yourself up for sustainable success. Another powerful aspect of small habits is that they provide momentum. The initial steps may feel small, but over time, they build on themselves, making progress feel natural and inevitable. As you consistently stick to your routine, you develop confidence, and each day becomes a reinforcement of your commitment. The key is to make these habits so ingrained in your daily routine that they become second nature. Eventually, the discipline that once took conscious effort becomes effortless, and your progress continues without the need for constant motivation or willpower. Small habits also offer flexibility. Life is unpredictable, and you won't always have hours to dedicate to a particular goal.
But when your success is built on consistent, small actions, you can adapt and continue moving forward, even when time or circumstances are tight.
Whether you're traveling, dealing with an unexpected event, or just feeling exhausted, it's easier to maintain small habits like journaling for 5 minutes or doing a quick workout than to try to fit in a large, time-consuming task. Perhaps the most important lesson that small, consistent habits teach us is the power of patience. Real success does not happen overnight, and the process of building something significant requires perseverance. It can be easy to become discouraged when you don't see immediate results. But when you trust the process and understand that the effort you put in today will pay off in the future, you are better able to stay committed. Over time, the habits that seem trivial or inconsequential at first will add up to create lasting, meaningful success. The beauty of building discipline through small habits is that you don't have to do everything perfectly, nor do you have to see instant results to know you're on the right path. It's the accumulation of daily actions, no matter how small, that will ultimately get you where you want to go. By sticking with those habits, over time, you will achieve things you never thought possible. Because discipline, in its most effective form, is built slowly and steadily, one small step at a time. In the end, discipline isn't about perfection or a single grand achievement. It's about consistency, resilience, and the small, deliberate choices you make each day. These choices compound over time, and it's through them that long-term success is forged. Whether it's focusing on self-control, prioritizing what truly matters, or building habits that align with your vision, the key to achieving your goals lies in your commitment to the process, not just the outcome. Remember, success isn't a destination, it's a journey made up of countless small steps. Keep showing up, keep pushing forward, and trust that the effort you put in today will create the future you want tomorrow. Thank you for taking the time to reflect on this journey of self-discipline. May your path ahead be one of purposeful action, steady progress, and unwavering commitment. Stay disciplined, stay focused, and the results will follow.